Unwitting American citizens and the citizens of other nations are facing a destabilization operation, one designed to bring down the existing world governments and to institute a one-world government fascist dictatorship in its place. Just prior to World War II, Orson Welles' radio program, The War of the Worlds, was broadcast along the eastern seaboard. People were thrown into a panic, actually believing that they were being invaded from Mars. This was an accidental destabilization operation. After the war, the UFO cover story was used as a smokescreen, a psyop, to screen the development of experimental U.S. aircraft, as well as human experimental subjects being abducted from the community. These human experimental subjects were kidnapped, hypnotized, experimented upon, and then they were implanted with false memories of an alien ship and alien beings. It is a certainty that alien life exists in the universe. However, the distances are so vast, on the order of hundreds of thousands or millions of light years away, in effect too far to ever meet. The least complex answer to the UFO question is UFO sightings are a combination of natural phenomena such as ball lightning, produced when granite rock is placed under great stress, hoaxes, and a military psychological warfare operation, the longest running one in history, that is designed to cover up human experimentation by abducting people in the community and implanting them with false memories. The most publicized case, one of the early ones in 1960, was that of Betty and Barney Hill. In fact, Betty and Barney Hill were targets of COINTELPRO, counterintelligence program. This program was aimed at domestic dissidents, infiltrating the civil rights movement, the women's rights movement, and the anti-war movement, breaking up the movement, breaking up the organizations from within, and if necessary, assassinating the leaders. COINTELPRO was merged or absorbed into MKUltra operations, so that the internal dissidents in the United States, such as Betty and Barney Hill, an interracial couple who were heavily involved in the civil rights movement. This was a COINTELPRO profile. They fit it perfectly. These two people were turned into human experimental subjects by the military intelligence operation. They were abducted, experimented upon, hypnotized, and implanted with false memories of an alien abduction to screen what had really happened to them. Project Bluebeam was an Air Force experiment that took place in India. In India, a small village was nearly wiped out by an illness, and the traumatized survivors were then fooled with a giant hologram projected onto the sky in the form of a walking, talking Jesus Christ. The terrified survivors immediately converted to Christianity in order to save their lives. This mass conversion operation is in effect a dry run for a larger operation of the same or similar kind. In 1521, Hernan Cortez invaded Mexico with approximately 500 men. Cortez was able to subdue the Aztec Empire and to enslave 20 million people. The criminal minds behind this operation are students of military history and have paid close attention to this event. Cortez was armed with superior steel weapons. He used a divide and conquer strategy. There was a case of accidental biological warfare when smallpox decimated the ranks of the Aztec army. And finally, most intriguingly, the Aztecs were not sure who they were fighting, if these were really men or they were in fact gods or alien beings. The military intelligence professionals who are experts at psychological warfare currently possess all of these elements. These men possess speed-of-light weapons that are able to defeat any known battlefield technology, including tanks, planes, and missiles. These men also possess chimera virus and other biological weapons for which the human population has no resistance to. Besides superior weapons and biological warfare, these men also possess the UFO cover story and giant hologram technology. When the traumatized survivors of Earth are confronted with a giant hologram fleet of UFOs overhead, and extremely low frequency technology signals speak to every human being simultaneously over the planet, they will capitulate. Or if they win, either way, the outcome will be the same. There will be a one-world government, in effect a one-world fascist dictatorship controlled by these criminal minds. In order to defeat this artificial clash of civilizations, I hope that you will join me in a passive resistance campaign against these men and their terrible weapons, and together we may retain our destiny again one day in our own hands. Thank you and God bless.